Hello everyone, I'm back. The last conversation we had, I showed you what it was like when you had a cigar that was rolled too tight. I showed you how you can relieve it if you're a roller, how you can change it, make it into another cigar. But that information wouldn't be any good if I showed you how to avoid rolling your cigars. But first things first. I want to give a shout out to Anisha Rich. She is my cousin down in Florida, Ash Society. They do a lot of events down there, cigar events on the Atlantic side. They're having fun. Check them out, Ash Society. If you're ever down there, you'll enjoy it. She has a lot of different cigar products that you'll really appreciate. Secondly, shout out to all the people following me. I appreciate you. And for those who just watching, give me a like. Come on. And also, a buddy of mine's in Maryland, Mark Hammond. He is the bourbon man. Yes, he's the bourbon man. He collects it. And he has more bottles of bourbon that you can believe. Shout out to bourbon and cigars. Mark. Anyway, let's get with it. So, when you're rolling cigars, you have your filler, which is going to be these pieces. Now, normally, for a cigar the size of the 58, which is, I'll show you. That's a size 58. It's a big one. Now, this cigar mold, you would probably use about 3 leaves because it's a pretty big mold. Or if you step it down to a smaller mold, this right here is a 52, I think. Yes, this is a 52. Okay, and then I have the smaller ones, which is a 28. Okay, so you need to be careful of how many leaves you put inside those molds. Anyway, so like if I'm gonna do the, let's do the 58 first. Okay, you're gonna need at least 3 leaves. Okay. Now remember, when you take these leaves apart, you take the stem out. Some people say that, or some rollers say that leave some of the stem in, gives some flavor, but I don't know about that. Sometimes they burn wrong when you have the stem in, especially if it ends up on the wrong side of the cigar. All right, so that's 3 leaves. Now what you must remember is, I'm not gonna put that whole thing in there like this, right? So I have to break it, okay? I have to break it after I put the roll together, which today I'll do it in this way. This is how they do it in Cuba and other places. This gives you a better flow. All right, so there you go. That's the first part of it, okay? So now I have to break it here and then down here. Now look what it looks like. See? That's what it looks like once it's broken. Now, what I'm doing is I'm pressing on it to feel, to see if it's gonna work for me in my mold. And if I feel like it's might be a little bit too big, just pull some off. Okay, there we go. That's better. So that's 6 leaves. I took a little off. And when I say 6, I mean I had 3 leaves and I literally broke them in half. So let's say it's 6, okay? Now for the first wrap, which is called the binder. Okay, binders aren't pretty. Binders are just not pretty. They're not supposed to be. They're just supposed to hold that first part of the cigar together before you beautify it with your final wrap. So, just take your binder, cut that stem off center. Okay, you want to just put it together in that formation. And you take your filler, and then you wrap the filler in with your binder. Your binder is just holding it together for the first series. First steps. Just roll it a little bit, you notice I'm rolling it, but I'm not pressing down real hard. It may look like it, but I'm not. I'm just rolling it just enough to form the cylindrical shape, and I can feel some pressure enough pressure to just smooth it out, because you can feel with your palm. You just need to smooth it out a little bit. Okay, so now at this point, we'll just go ahead on and glue it up. This glue is regular cigar glue. You can buy it or you can make your own. It's made out of pectin. Same stuff that's on your shiny fruits, your shiny desserts, like your strawberries. Strawberry shortcake, you see with all that shiny stuff on them, that's what this stuff is. So it won't kill you, or you would ought to have been dead. Anyway, so here we go. Now I'm going to clip the end of it. As you can see, it looks nice and loose, like it should. Tear off all the raggedy parts. Now clip the end. A little round on the end, but this is your mouthpiece. You want it nice and round like it should be. There you go. Doesn't look pretty, but it's not supposed to. It's just supposed to hold it together. And then you take your mold. This is not going to fill this mold up, because I really don't want to fill it up. So take your mold, stick your cigar in like this, and push it down in there. Just roll it with your fingers down in there. Now, if it's hard to go down, if you have to push real hard to get it down in there, it's too tight. It's going to be too tight. You got too much tobacco in there. But if it slides right in there just like that, there you go. You know, so once you put your top on, use your clamp to clamp it down. I'm just going to press it down to show you for the sake of the lesson. All right, so press it down probably for, I don't know, hour. You can leave it overnight if you want to. But once you're done, take it up. You notice how it's already forming shape. And then you should be able to just take it, slide it out, and then put it in the opposite way, just like this, to continue its pressing, sort of press in the correct shape. That right there is what it takes to start that cigar. Now, it's hard to, it's hard to tell when you have too little. No, that's wrong. It's not hard to tell at all. The best thing to do if you want to know how to gauge a cigar and you're learning how to roll and to gauge how much tobacco you put in, the best thing to do is to buy a cheap cigar in the size of what you like. Then hold it in your hand. Don't squeeze it, just hold it. That way you can feel in your hand the circumference of how big that cigar is going to be when you put your tobacco inside your hand. You'll know. It'll just come to you. That's how you want it. But you got to remember, the whole process, you're using about 5.5 leaves. So if that gives you any information on how much, 5.5 is a lot. So depending upon the size of your press, you just want to kind of judge it with your hands. Like I say, get yourself a cigar, a cheap one, and just keep it. Don't smoke it. That way you can use it for a guide. That way you can feel it and say, okay, this is how thick I want my cigar, and it'll fit in my mold right, and I won't have to force it in. So that's how you do that. I hope I explained it where you could understand it, but it's cool. It works out. So now you know how to mitigate that problem. That way you don't get yourself caught up in a situation where you got cigars that are just not right. And then believe me, I'm sure that some of you guys have probably went to cigar humidors and bought a cigar and you're just disappointed. Falls apart on you and all those kind of things. But, learn how to do it yourself. You can at least, get around all of that by taking your time. Because a lot of those cigars are made in factories. And they're making them real fast, making a lot of them. And of course, all of them, sometimes some slip through the crack. It just does. You may smoke 2 or 3 boxes of them and be fine. And then you may get yourself one that just seems to just fissure on the side, unravels, all kinds of weird things. So don't be disappointed. Just understand that that's just the nature of a cigar when it's rolled in factories. There's always going to be that bad apple. Anyway, I hope you understand, and I hope I explained it halfway decent. But like I said, shout out to all the people who follow me, and keep rolling.